What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Talk About Transformers. Today we're going to be taking a look at the War for Cybertron trilogy Hound mold. I believe this is the Netflix paint job, so it is not the one that came out in Siege. It is in the little Netflix subline that came out at like Walmart, I'm pretty sure. Taking a look at the vehicle mode, it's a Cybertronian Jeepy Hummer kind of vehicle. You've got some gold paint up here that the scratch and scuff doesn't bother me too much because it looks like it was paint that was scratched off, so you know that kind of looks good. It's not just dry brushed scratches on the figure itself. He's got his Autobot logo, silver on the headlights, yellow on these fog lights, I guess is what those would probably be down there. No paint on these lights here. Got some molded in like winch detail, cabling and whatnot going along the side. You got that gold stripe continuing here with more scratches, and then some gold paint back here on I'm going to call them ammo boxes. That's just what I'm going to call them. Oh, I'm sorry about that. My sneezes have a tendency to sneak up on me. And you've got some paint on the hubcaps, and silver there on the clipped on wheels. You can kind of see his hands floating around under there. Inside there's no real seating area to speak of, just kind of some molded stuff, but that's okay because it's a Cybertronian mode, no humans around yet. There you got him on his back. It's kind of plain. You can see the knee hinges. There's no real paint to speak of back here except for the green on the top. That is just the color of its vehicle mode, which, you know, since they're separated, the color matching, it's, well, this is also painted. Is any of this green plastic? I wonder. I think this might be silver gray plastic with the painted green also, so this might be the only actual green plastic. Color matching is pretty good as long as that's, you know, molded and not painted, but if it's all painted, then that's where all his paint went. You've got the little drum for his robot mode gun there. There he is on the other side, same stuff. There he is from the bottom. I've got his gun plugged into his hand and stored under here, but you could plug it into any of these ports up here to, you know, make it so that he's ready for battle. You've also got a port here and a port here on each side, and then his little shuttle rocket launcher thing, I plugged it in down here. My brother got the figure before I did, and he's like, oh hey, you can store it under here, and he'll do it where he'll plug this handle in to the vehicle, and if I can do it, he'll use it as like a rocket booster, but I find that the peg is very shallow, and this piece is kind of loose in at the same time, so I'll just plug it in like this for storage, and the peg goes in much deeper, much more secure. That's my preference. His preference is having a rocket booster, so there's your options for that. And there he is from the top, and that's about it for the vehicle mode. It does roll, and that's your articulation, unless you had the gun up here and then you could swivel it, you know, so that way you could aim at what you were shooting at. But that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the size comparisons and get into transformation. Alrighty, there you got him with your Rubik's Cube, with the Gormagala statue, with Volkswagen Bumblebee, with the last Deluxe review I did, Red Alert, and here it is with the next Deluxe review I'm going to do. This is the Earthrise RC. We're going to get this out of the way because I don't like it, and then I'm not sure who's coming up after that. Alright guys, transformation time. I'm just going to take all the accessories off and set them down. Now I'll pull this out just so you can see what that looks like. You can put it up in the central turret hole here, or you could put it back there. It's not really going to make much of a difference. Alright, we'll go ahead and start transforming him. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of push down on these edges to fold his toes up. Get his back area kind of folded up and out of our way. And then I know that I want to get the arms down a little bit because there's a tab here. It goes into a slot in the forearm. And then I should be able to start pulling away the sides of the vehicle like that, and they're going to come down on a double hinge system for the time being, just to get them out of your way. What do I want to do? I got my arms, I got the legs. Should I fold the legs the rest of the way out? Not yet. Oh, there's something else I need to do. I gotta get his arms rotated out of here. I was thinking I might have to do that in a later step, but that's what I'm getting those wheels out of the way for, is to get his arms out, because then you can rotate them up, rotate the chest assembly down. I'm trying to see if it pegs into place here. It doesn't look like there's a connection point here, but you're gonna have, I'll get his legs folded around first and then I'll show you. Go ahead and get his legs folded down and separated. Now up here at the torso, you've got a little notch cut out of this piece here, and you're going to wrap that around this feature on the side of his chest, and that's what's going to keep your torso in place. We'll go ahead and rotate this around, and then there's a slot here that's going to tab into his backside. It's not a secure connection, but it does. And then we'll go ahead and fold his foot back down, and there's a tab here and a slot here. And you just gotta tab that together. So we'll go ahead and fold that in that. There's his legs. We'll just move his arms down, get his elbows positioned properly, and then get his fists positioned properly. And there you have Hound in his robot mode. And we'll go ahead and take a look at his details and get into his accessories and how you can implement them. And then we'll take a look at some size comparisons. Alrighty, starting off with the details. He's got silver painted face, blue painted eyes. All the details on the chest were visible in the vehicle mode. You've got these ports that are revealed when you fold this down. Helps keep the front together. And then you've got shoulder ports. He's got painted scratchy stars on the side here, and like I said, I don't mind this application of scratches because it's a paint app that looks scratched, not a paint app that is a scratch. So that actually looks pretty good to me. Same thing going on with the golden bands on his arms here. It was painted and then made to look scratchy. You've got that green paint faded on there and it looks real nice. It does look like this is molded green. Let me check the underside. I don't want to lie to you guys. No, it's gray too. It's just painted green. So yeah, lots of green paint on this guy. For that effect, you've got the faded green down here. Coming down the legs, they're basically all green, but that's all painted. Kind of fades into gray towards his feet. So there's a lot of fading going on here, which kind of helps all this flow together. The sides of his legs are the back bumper, I want to say. Or maybe it's got those artillery packs or whatever you want to call them. So coming up the side, you've got a knee port, port on his arm, a port on his shoulder. I gotta plug his backpack back in. Going down the backpack's not that obtrusive at all for what it is. I just wish it held together a little better at the bottom there. But you've got a port in his backpack. His legs are done in a silvery plastic with the gunmetal hip component. They're hollow. If they could have made one of the wheels fold around, this inner wheel preferably fold around and fill that in, that'd be great. the outside wheel looks good, and then you wouldn't have the wheels getting in the way of each other in there. But they don't do that, and that's something that we have to live with. And he's got two little baby heels back there. They're like the little steps for getting in the vehicle. I want to say is what that looks like from this angle. So there he is. And then he's got the little back slat on his head. And I was just watching Prime vs. Prime's review of skids, and he's got the same thing going on here, and he was upset about it and talking up the War for Cybertron trilogy, and here you've got Hound with a panel on the back of his head, same thing. So, you know, hindsight's 20/20. And then there's a little bit of that silver plastic in his midsection, and that's pretty much it for his paint. And that, we'll go ahead and take a look at articulation. Because of that slat behind his head, we'll go ahead and bend that back a little bit. Actually, I've never articulated his head before, so I never actually messed around with that, but this will actually click back, so you can rotate his head a full 360 on that ball joint. He can not really look up. He can kind of look down a bit, and he can't really do the side to side, so it's mostly just a rotation. You've got the 360 at the shoulder, you've got outward movement 90 degrees, you've got a 360 bicep, you've got a smidge over 90 degree at the elbow, and then you've got your full wrist swivel coming down to the waist. He does have a waist swivel. It will push the backpack out, but you can do a 360, get it where you want it, and then just rest the backpack on it. It's not going to hurt anything. He's got those universal hips, the gunmetal gray. It'll go back all the way as long as the leg is straight. It'll go forward all the way. It'll go out to the side more than you'd ever need. Because this is a separate component, you do have the thigh swivel on top of it, so it'll get you this range of movement. His knees are a little over 90 degree bend. You've got ankle tilts that are basically two stages, that and in, so you know you can't get anything fluid or organic. He's got to go all the way or none of the way. But that's pretty much it for his articulation. Bring in his accessories. Now this drum is going to go into the gun, and you can plug it into either side, but I found that it fits best on this side of my particular copy of the gun. So you can put the drum in there, take a look at it. It's just molded black plastic. You've got the hole here is so it can plug into vehicle mode, and the rest of it is a hole because it's hollow space. And you've got the little bump on the back that you can plug it into stuff and whatnot. And the handle sculpt works pretty good. You got some lines going across diagonally and things like that. A little muzzle. And then because the drum's on this side, I'll go ahead and make him hold his gun left-handed, which I'm okay with. I'm also left-handed. And we'll go ahead and take this little rocket pod and we'll plug it into his shoulder. It's not the most, I mean, it's in there. It's not going to come out unless you pull it out, but it is a pretty shallow hole, and because of this in the back, it doesn't get all the way down in there either. If you rotated it, you could probably get a little more, but it's fine the way it is. There he is with his rocket shoulder. And you can put the gun up in this shoulder too, probably. We'll go ahead and test that, shall we? So yeah, he can have a shoulder mounted arsenal, and you can use any of the other ports you want. If you have the blast effects, which I did get some of, but I keep forgetting to take them down. My friend who gave me the arc that you've seen in the background finally managed to find some of the blast effects for me, but they are blue, and I don't really think that blue is the best color, and I keep forgetting to get them down. So, but we'll go ahead and zoom out, take a look at some size comparisons, and get to my final thoughts on the figure. Alrighty, for starters, we got him back with the Rubik's Cube again, with Mr. Gore Magala statue, with Bumblebee movie Bumblebee, last week's review, the Siege Red Alert mold, and there he is with the next review, which is going to be the Earthrise or Kingdom RC. This one is Earthrise specifically, but it's just repackaged for Kingdom. And finally, there he is with the Masterpiece 44 Optimus Prime mold, and that's gonna finish up our size comparison. Alrighty, final thoughts on Hound. I think it's a pretty great deluxe, actually. Well, that was like that noise was so weird. It was like I tried to cough in the middle of talking. Anyway, as I was saying, I think it's actually pretty great for the deluxe. You can have a weaponized vehicle mode. You can have a vehicle mode that's de-weaponized. You know, because you can store all that stuff. You can store his gun on his back. His rocket pretty much is going to stay on his shoulder the whole time. His articulation, other than the wheels getting in the way in the inner calf area, and his ankles being like 2 clicks and that's it. He's got pretty good articulation for the size class. I really like this paint job now that I've taken a look at it in my camera and actually went through and looked at how good it is. I'm actually really fond of the fading and things like that. I can't speak to the paint job on the original, but as far as mine goes, I love the deco. That's pretty much it, really. It's just a good mold. I'm assuming most of you probably already have it. If you don't, you can find it somewhere cheap. If you don't mind the original paint job, it'll probably be less expensive, because the Netflix figures, I want to say they are Walmart exclusives, and since they're exclusives, people will be scalping those prices up. But you might be able to find a regular Siege Hound pretty cheap. And go ahead and get it if you are interested and think it's worth the money. That being said, go ahead and check out my War for Cybertron playlists. I've also got some third-party KO Masterpiece playlist stuff. I've got Studio Series playlists coming out. Go ahead and give the video a like. Leave a comment if you like Hound. Leave a comment if you have suggestions. Go ahead and subscribe, then ring that notification bell so you can get notified when I upload a video. Link below, I've got my social media for Twitter and Instagram, which I try to post the day before a review comes out, so that way you guys can tell it's coming that way too. Unfortunately, I'm actually filming this right before I upload it, because I started a new job and I worked the last 3 days, 12 hours a day, so I didn't have time to film anything after the review I filmed on Thursday, which was for Friday, and I want to say it was a Voyager class figure. It was Snapdragon, that's right. I just took a second to remember. But yeah, so once again, I apologize for not having that message up, but that'll about do it, and I'll see you next time.